Hi everyone, this is Athena from Courage Coaching. I hope you're doing well. It's been a long time since I have done a video. My apologies for this. I have been extremely busy and haven't had a chance. And as you may know, making YouTube videos does take up a lot of time. Today I've decided to do a different type of video. I wanted to do more of a slideshow, so it's a bit clearer, and I really hope that you find this useful. As I go through the slides, you will notice a couple of things that you may feel that resonate with you. If you have anything at all that you would like to say, or if you would like to leave a comment below the video today, then please feel free to do so. So today's topic is what it feels like to have a relationship with someone who has narcissistic personality. Now, this could be either in an intimate relationship, or this could be a relationship with a mother or a father or a sibling, or it could be a co-worker or a friend. It could be any type of relationship. So the first thing that you will notice is that you feel a sense of isolation. Now, it is very common to feel a sense of isolation when you are in a relationship with someone who has narcissistic personality disorder, as they tend to be very controlling. They are generally very emotionally handicapped, so they don't relate to other people in normal ways. They are not able to have normal functional relationships where there is give and take and there is respective boundaries. They are not able to do this. And people with narcissistic personality regularly gaslight you. If you don't know what gaslighting is, then please feel free to watch another one of my videos. So when a narcissist regularly gaslights you, this makes you feel very, very unstable. And the whole purpose of gaslighting somebody is to make them believe that they are going crazy. When you are in this situation, you will not turn outwardly for support, because you actually genuinely believe that there's something wrong with you, that you're not with it, that your mind is playing tricks on you. You genuinely believe you are going crazy, and this is what makes this type of abuse, this type of relationship so dangerous and so insidious. The next thing that you will notice is that you are starting to develop feelings of helplessness and hopelessness. Trying to reason with someone who has narcissistic personality will at times make you feel helpless, because they're not able to see things from your point of view, or they aren't willing to do so. They are always right and you are always wrong. They expect you to follow their narrative at all times. And this is what eventually leads to both feelings of helplessness and hopelessness. If you are constantly dealing with somebody who always blames you for everything that goes wrong, who never takes any responsibility for their actions or their pain that they've caused or the things that they say, then it's like a dead end. There's no way around it. It's like you are talking to a wall. Feeling helpless and hopeless is something that a lot of survivors of narcissistic abuse will talk about as being a big part of their life. The next thing you will notice is that you feel trapped. In most dysfunctional relationships, individuals tend to feel trapped due to their abuser constantly guilt-tripping them, or playing the victim, controlling them, and threatening them, and manipulating them in so many different ways. You will feel trapped in your mind, in your heart. You will feel scared. For this reason, leaving the relationship doesn't feel like an option. And let's not forget also the issue of being trauma bonded to any abuser. The trauma bond is the main reason that somebody stays with their abuser and they do not leave. If you are in situations with your abuser where they treat you really well on some days, where they buy you flowers, or they listen, or they pretend to care, if they give you any sense of normality. You will cling on to that. You will cling on to the fact that they were really nice to you or they treated you really well on that particular day. And this will be a reason that you stay in the relationship because you will want that to happen again. So even if they're treating you terribly, you will cling on to either the early stages of the relationship where they were love bombing you, where they were giving you constant attention and love and making promises of being the perfect partner. But if this doesn't happen, then you will wait for the next moment that it does. You will cling on to that hope. The next thing you will notice is that you are feeling anger and frustration very often. When you are in a relationship with somebody who has narcissistic personality disorder, you will feel a huge deal of anger and frustration because of their immature and destructive ways of relating to you. You are never going to win in a relationship with a narcissist. You are never going to be able to be heard and your feelings validated. A narcissist has no interest in allowing you to feel heard and validated. They will just act like a 3-year-old. They will have tantrums if they don't get their way. They will play the victim if they don't get their way. They will cause constant drama. And you will always be the one at fault. And because of this constant feeling of being at fault and not doing the right thing in the relationship, this anger and frustration will be something that you live with daily. Now, there is this acronym known as FOG, which was first coined by Susan Forward and Donna Frazier in their book Emotional Blackmail. And it stands for fear, obligation, and guilt. Fear, obligation, and guilt are feelings that individuals regularly experience when in a relationship with someone who has narcissistic personality disorder. And these emotions come up a lot because of the way that a narcissist relates to a family member or to their partner. They do not know how to have a normal relationship. So fear will be something that you experience a lot when they threaten you or when they try to control you. You'll feel obligation, especially if you are with a vulnerable narcissist or a covert narcissist, because they will play the victim card a lot of the time, and they'll guilt trip you. They'll make you feel sorry for them, so then you feel obligated that you have to be there for them or continue this relationship with them because they'll make you feel so bad. So obligation and guilt sort of go together. Once you are being guilt tripped a lot, you will feel the obligation to stay in the relationship or to help the individual. Other things you will notice is that you will start losing yourself in this type of relationship. You will feel depressed and you will have feelings of hypervigilance. Being in a relationship with somebody who has narcissistic personality causes the individual to be both in a state of depression and hypervigilance due to the toxic nature of this relationship. And this could be due to emotional and or physical abuse. Hypervigilance is usually caused when somebody has explosive anger. You will feel depressed because a narcissist will not acknowledge your feelings, will not allow you to express your feelings, so you'll have to keep them inside and they will be unexpressed, and this will build up until you either start punishing yourself, you'll feel like you have low self-worth, and all of these things will make you feel more and more depressed. Because narcissists are very good at making people feel worthless, at making people's emotions not matter. So depression and hypervigilance are big parts of being in a relationship with a narcissist. Now, complex PTSD is something that I have talked about a lot on my channel. So it stands for complex post-traumatic stress disorder, which is a direct result of prolonged exposure to trauma, abuse, captivity, or entrapment with no viable escape. And this is sort of what happens if you have been in a relationship with somebody who has narcissistic personality disorder, especially if you were a child growing up in a home with one or two parents that had this, or if you were in a domestically abusive relationship for a very, very long time and you didn't feel like you were able to escape. Well, this will cause complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And the key symptoms of this are emotional flashbacks, toxic shame, hypervigilance, which we mentioned before. You will have a negative self-view of yourself and you will find it very, very difficult to regulate your emotions. So you'll have emotional dysregulation. Being in close relationship with someone who has NPD causes CPTSD, and the survivor has to learn to live with their symptoms even long after they have ceased contact with the individual or ended the relationship. So you will have to live with complex PTSD for a long time. You will be able over time to manage your symptoms in a better way, and you will at some point thrive. You just need to give yourself the time to heal. You need the right tools to do this, and you will be able to have a better life if you choose to, for instance, go no contact with an abuser. Going no contact gives us our power back. It gives us the ability to live our life authentically. And although you may have moments where you are triggered, so somebody may say something that triggers you in a way that you remember the abuse. So if somebody is a bit too critical with you in the present, that may trigger you and flash you back to the emotion that you felt when you were a child and your parents were being really horrible to you. So emotional flashbacks can be very painful. And obviously a flashback means that you have no control over this when it happens. When you are triggered, you don't have any control of this because it triggers a part of your brain that you cannot control. But you can learn to manage the symptoms. You can learn to take a deep breath whenever this happens and, tell yourself, I think I'm having an emotional flashback. So there are ways of dealing with complex PTSD. There are techniques and there is support for this. The last thing I wanted to talk about is that most individuals who have been in a long relationship with somebody that has narcissistic personality will eventually have what is known as a light bulb moment. So when an individual realizes that their loved one actually has narcissistic personality, it feels like a light bulb moment. They suddenly feel validated, less crazy, and empowered. They finally have an explanation as to why they felt so isolated, so low, and at times so crazy. They finally realize that it wasn't them that had the problem, but their abuser. It is as if a light was literally turned on. That is the end of today's video. I hope you all found it useful. Thank you so much for watching and listening. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, then please feel free to do so for more content. And if you would like to leave a comment and share your experience, I would really love for you to do so. Take care. Have a great day or evening wherever you are in this world, and I will see you in my next video. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.